Hello students, welcome. Now we will study the linear density and planar density of material. So the first question is, what is meant by linear density and what is meant by planar density? A density along a line that we call as linear density. If we measure the density of a plane, that is number of atoms inside that plane, we can call as a planar density. These are 1D and 2D analog of atomic packing fraction. Atomic packing fraction will give the density is in 3 dimensions. If you measure linear density, that is 1D analog. If you measure planar density, that is 2D analog. We have the question, what is the origin of this one? Because if you take a single crystal of different materials, for example aluminum, we take 3 single crystals along 100, along 110 and along 111, and if we measure the modulus of elasticity of these 3, it comes out to be different, and if this happens, that we call as anisotropic properties. So modulus of elasticity is anisotropic property with some exception. So the origin of these 3 is the density of atoms along that direction or in that plane. That we will see now how. First we will see the linear density and then the planar density. So the linear density, the definition is number of atoms along a particular direction divided by the unit length, right? Let's take an example of simple cubic here. For example, this is the simple cubic unit cell. I have to show here 100 direction in the first unit cell. So this is the first unit cell, this is second unit cell. So the 100 direction here from the origin will look like this. This is the 100 direction. In the second one, if you want to show 110 direction, that we can show like this. This is the 110 direction. Now our formula for linear density is number of atoms on the direction divided by unit length. So how many number of atoms in this direction divided by unit length? For example, if you take a row of atom like this, and suppose this is the direction because they are in a periodic, so we can show by vector. So per unit length here is A from starting of this atom to this atom. So if we show here, the unit length will be like this. So unit length, we know that for cubic system it's A equal to B equal to C. So how many number of atoms here? Half portion of this atom and half portion of this atom. So total number of atom here is equal to 1 divided by unit length is A. This is the answer of 100. Again for 110, the answer will be same. This is the unit length. This is for 100. If measure the linear density along 110 direction, the unit length is A root 2 and number of atoms is equal to 1. Again, if we see the top view for better understanding, we can see the top view of this 2. For 100, this is the x-axis, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis, c-axis from out of the screen. Again for 110, this is x-axis, this is y-axis. Now we will show number of atoms per unit distance. So if you take center of this one to the center of this one, we can call this as A, that is the unit length. Number of atoms, I will shade it in other color. So half from this atom and half from this atom. Total number of atoms is equal to 1 divided by unit length is equal to A. For 110 direction, we can show like this. Again, unit length from the center of this atom to the center of this atom. Unit length, since it is a face diagonal, it will be a root 2. Number of atoms I will shade in different color. Again half from this atom and half from this atom, total equal to 1. Right? So I have summarized linear density of simple cubic in this table, and I encourage you to find out the linear density of BCC and FCC along the 3 directions. So one thing you can observe from here, that if you measure the linear density, it is different in all 3 directions. For example, for simple cubic, the linear density along 1 0 0 is greater than linear density along 1 1 0 is greater than linear density along 1 1 1. So the 1 0 0 direction has highest linear density or more linear density as compared to the other direction. So that's why in this direction the properties may be different than the other one. Now we will see the planar density. Planar density is the number of atoms lying in a plane upon area of the plane. Remember that in linear density we have measured unit length, number of atoms divided by unit length. So here the unit of linear density will be number of atoms, it won't have any unit, per meter. The planar density unit will be number of atoms per meter square, because this is the area of the plane. First example for simple cubic 1 0 0. So if we use this kind of notations, we can see that this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is z-axis. 1 0 0 plane will have intercept on x at 1 unit distance, and that is parallel to y and z. So I will shade 1 0 0 here. That is the face of the unit cell, right? If I show this with only the contribution of atoms at the corner, it will look like this. So this length is A, again this length is A, right? So the area of this one will be A square, that you can write, and total number of atoms here is 1 by 4 into 4 equal to 1. So 1 upon A square is the planar density of simple cubic 1 0 0 plane. Similarly for 1 1 1 plane, 1 1 1 plane, this is x-axis, this is y-axis, this is the z-axis. 1 1 1 will have intercept on x, y and z at 1 unit distance. So x equal to 1 is this, y equal to 1 is this, and z equal to 1 is this. So it is kind of a triangle. It is kind of a triangle. If we show it separately, that will look like this. Now since the triangle edges are going on the face diagonal, that's why its unit length is A root 2. So this will be A root 2, this will be A root 2, and this will be also A root 2. Right? Now we will find out number of atoms in that plane. This is the 1 1 1 plane. We will find out the number of atoms. So for that, you should know that a triangle has each angle of 60 degree, and for circle the total angle is around 360 degree. So the contribution of this is 60 upon 360, that is equal to 1 by 6. So each atom shares 1 by 6 of its portion to the 1 1 1 plane, and we have 3 number of atoms. This is first, this is second, and this is third. So total number of atoms is equal to 1 by 6 into 3 upon area of the plane. So now this we can assume at equilateral triangle. This is equilateral triangle. So for equilateral triangle, the area is half into base into height. This is shown here. Half, base is A root 2 and height is A root 3 by root 2. So if you find out this comes around, root 2 cancel, and this will also get cancelled. It comes around 1 upon a square root 3. So the planar density of 1 1 1 plane in simple cubic is 1 upon a square root 3. Here you have to remember one thing, that only those atoms whose center of mass lies and the plane has to be counted. It means that if suppose this is the plane, and if we have atoms like this, one is an atom like this, one atom is like this, since this is at the center, you have to count only this atom. You cannot find out, or you cannot count this atom to find out contribution. First thing. Second thing is that in BCC 1 1 1 plane partially intersect the atom at the body center. Suppose if we find out for BCC, this is BCC, there is atom at the center. If we draw here 1 1 1 plane, this plane will partially intersect this atom at the center, and if you look side view, it will look like this. So this atom is not exactly at the center, that's why you cannot find out the contribution, or you cannot use it for calculation of the planar density. For your clarity or for your visualizations, different planes of SC, that is simple cubic, BCC and FCC are shown here. You are encouraged to find out these in a unit cell, and you are encouraged to find out the planar density of BCC and FCC. You can observe here one thing, that the planar density of simple cubic 100 is greater than planar density of 110 plane, and is greater than planar density of 111 plane. This is true for simple cubic. It means that 100 plane of the simple cubic has more density as compared to the other plane.